Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Loyola Blakefield. Welcome to Loyola Blakefield for today's Catholic League soccer matchup. Now I can't hear myself. Keep going. Check. I can live with it. The Mount St. Joseph Gales come into this game undefeated, taking on the Loyola Dons. Loyola 1-2 on the year. The Catholic League, 6 teams competing in this COVID-19 situation in the Baltimore area. Loyola, Mount St. Joe, Spalding, John Carroll, Calvert Hall, and I know I'm forgetting one team, Curley, Archbishop Curley. And out of those 6 teams, 4 teams will make a playoff for the semifinals, and then the winners of that game will play for the Catholic League Championship. So hats off to both of these schools and the other 4 schools for putting together a season and allowing these players to compete in what has been a really trying year, both on and off the field, for these student athletes. Mount St. Joe again coming into this game undefeated. They have 19 seniors on their roster. They've played some great soccer up to this point. Loyola still trying to find a way and figure some things out. Mount St. Joe coming off of a 4-1 victory over John Carroll last week. Loyola, their last contest, a 2-0 setback to Calvert Hall. Officials just getting themselves straightened out, and then we'll kick this thing off from Loyola Blakefield. A beautiful day. Who would have thunk it on November 10th? It would be 75 degrees and sunny in Baltimore. A little windy here today. Kwaku Marfo Sarbang kicks things off for Loyola, and we are underway. Mount St. Joseph versus Loyola Blakefield. Ball is played out wide to Mount St. Joe, goes off of a Loyola player, and the Gales will have a throw-in. You can hear the wind picking up here at Loyola Blakefield. Still a very pleasant day, and considering the time of the year, it could be much, much worse. Mount St. Joe wins the ball in the middle of the field, played up top, knocked upfield by Chris Martineau of the Dons. Sebastian Linares then plays it out. Mount St. Joe player turns, headed toward the goal. He gets taken down, no call by the official. That was number 10, Alec Clary, one of the 19 seniors for this Mount St. Joe team. Hunter Murphy then will throw it in over to Clary. Clary plays it down the wing. Nice ball in the middle of the field. No one there. That was Van Danielson with the crossing opportunity. Number 27 is Miles Lamb. He plays with it in the corner. It's knocked out of bounds, and the corner kick is awarded to Mount St. Joe. Defensive pressure that time applied by Mateo Munoz of Loyola. And this is Tyron Stroud, another senior for Mount St. Joe. He will take the corner for the Gales. Strikes it into the middle of the field. Header not put goalward. Ball goes out of bounds, and the first goal kick of this contest will belong to the Dons. Looks like that was Brian St. Martin in the middle for Mount St. Joe. Got a head on it. Starting goaltender for Loyola is Jordy Ekman, a sophomore, entering his second year as a starter. He will take the goal kick. Plays it out. Ball comes down at midfield. Dom Caltabiano, one of the captains for Loyola, over to Sarbang, who gets fouled, but advantage. And Mateo De Jesus puts it forward. That's Noah Pitola. And Pitola is whistled for the offside, so a nice little sequence right there for Loyola. But unfortunately, the offside call by the side official Turns the ball back over to Mount St. Joe. Number 7, Ryan Kelly, in the all-blue for Loyola. Mount St. Joe wearing the white tops with white shorts, accented with their purple colors of the Gales. This game was originally scheduled to be played tomorrow at this time, but with weather being forecast to move into the area, the schools both elected to push the game up a day, and hence our contest here. Pidolo controls it in the middle over to DeJesus. DeJesus plays it out to the wing to Munoz. Munoz cuts it back, plays it to Linares. Switches the field to Martineau. Ryan Kelly controls it at his feet up to Caltabiano. Caltabiano struggled with some injuries in the preseason and the early season. Got his first taste of game action this past weekend against Calvert Hall. Loyola looking for an opening. Good upfront pressure by St. Joe, making life very difficult for the Dons. Loyola finally cracks it. This is Pidolo. Ball's played in the middle to DeJesus. DeJesus, nice turn, gets taken down from behind by Stroud. And Loyola will have a free kick opportunity coming from right outside of the box. Looks to be about 10 yards outside the box. DeJesus and Caltabiano setting things up for Loyola. Referee setting the Gale wall. Caltabiano with the approach, just got a little bit too much air underneath of that. It sails over the crossbar. And Loyola will give up the goal kick to Mount St. Joe. Van Danielson has trouble with the touch right around midfield. Ball goes out of bounds to Loyola. Marfo Sarbang was the intended recipient of that throw-in. It goes off of a Gale as possession stays with Loyola. Evan Onante with his first touch of the game. Turns it over. Ball now over to St. Joe. That's Stroud. Connecting the dots to Shan Chung, who then plays it out to Israel. Ryan Kelly playing defense against Danielson. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick to Loyola. So right off the bat, you could see St. Joe pressuring the ball. Loyola's going to have to handle that pressure. They've done a pretty good job of it thus far. DeJesus plays it back to his netminder, Ekman. Pops it up. Gets caught up a little bit in the wind here at Collis Field at Loyola Blakefield. Hunter Murphy plays it to Danielson. Clary, a catalyst up top. Looks like a big, strong kid playing the striker position for this Mount St. Joe team. Martineau tangling up with Danielson. Danielson keeps it in bounds, sends the ball skyward. Pidolo does well to get it out of harm's way. And it rolls out of bounds, possession to Mount St. Joe. DeJesus plays it up. Marfo Sarbang contending with the defender with a fistful of his jersey. Is able to fight him off and win a throw-in for his team. Jackson Simons is that defender for Mount St. Joe. DeJesus turns nicely. Marfo Sarbang. Pidolo operating in space. Sends it across. He's got a man in Onante. Onante can't get a boot on it. It rolls harmlessly to the Mount St. Joe goaltender, but a good look from Noah Pidolo. Switching to fields. Sending it to sophomore Evan Onante. And now Loyola will look to pressure. and keep Mount St. Joe from getting the ball into the offensive zone. Tyron Stroud plays the ball up. This is Clary. Clary against Martineau. Martineau takes him down. It's outside the box. So it is not a penalty kick, but it will be a free kick opportunity for Mount St. Joe. Martineau is questioning the official. I'm not quite sure why. It looked pretty cut and dry from up here that he took Clary off of his feet. Tyron Stroud, quick shot. Loyola was still setting up their wall, and Stroud tried to catch him napping, but heady play by Jordy Ekman, the goaltender, who was setting his wall at the right far post, and he had to hustle to that left far post to make the save. Nice job by Ekman, and Loyola's back on the attack. Munoz grabs the ball. Don's possession. Marfo Sarbank plays it to DeJesus. Kelly on the left side with some room to operate, plays the ball down the alley. DeJesus, nice move inside. Krebs across. Petola was there, but a nice defensive play by Israel. Certainly looked like the ball went off of a Mount St. Joe player, but the referee is saying goal kick to the Gales. So Loyola putting together their first scoring threat of this contest. Nice ball delivered inside, and Petola was there, but the defense from Mount St. Joe keeps him out of the goal. Can't get a number on the Mount St. Joseph goaltender. There's 3 listed on their roster: Jason Cush, Dominic Jones, and Joel Fenstermacher. So I apologize to the Mount St. Joe fans. Not sure who the Mount St. Joe goaltender is. If I can get a read on his number, if there is a number, in fact, on the back of his dark gray jersey, I'll do the best I can. Ball's played short. St. Martin under pressure from Dominic Coltabiano. Great pressure from Coltabiano. Creates the turnover in the middle of the field. DeJesus turns in. Landon Lackner sends it to Petola, who trips up his Mount St. Joe counterpart. Foul against the Dons, and the ball will come out for a St. Joe kick. Just under 30 minutes left to go here in the game, in the first half, 0-0. Loyola, Mount St. Joe, both teams having some scoring opportunities. St. Joe, you can tell they're a seasoned team, 19 seniors deep. And Loyola has done well in the first 10 minutes, 10 plus minutes of holding off the Gales. Clary with the quick throw in. Played into the side of the net. Linares is able to kick it out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Mount St. Joe. St. Joe hinting at maybe a short game here, pulls a couple of Loyola defenders out to respect that. Ball's played long into the middle. Ekman, ball is loose. Ball suspended a little bit. Nice job by Loyola getting it out. Stroud looked like it may have been a handball. Referee doesn't make the call. He sends it goalward to Ekman. Nice job. Jordy Ekman's played solid so far, as St. Joe has had a couple of balls played into his box, and he's done well to keep it out of harm's way. Coltabiano drops it off to Petola. Lackner switches the field. This is a grass surface at Loyola Blakefield. Does not do well in precipitation, so heavy rain and that kind of thing can really bog this field down. So hence both schools electing to play here today. It's a fast surface, and that time Loyola looking to create an advantage and offsides against the Dons, so the ball will go back over to Mount St. Joe. St. Joe with the free kick out of their defensive end. Martineau and Clary pushing on each other. Ball rolls into the box, picked up by Ekman. One thing to note about this field as well, with daylight savings time, the sun is often a problem this time of game at the far goal, the goal near the scoreboard. So that is the goal that Mount St. Joe is defending currently. And Marfo Sarbang gets inside, plays it way ahead of himself. It's a 50-50, ball still loose. St. Joe goaltender does well to knock it away from Sarbang. He still plays it to Jesus. Nice move, top of the box. Can't get any mustard on that left-footed shot. Dons look like they wanted a handball. They don't get it. Play continues. Pitola back to Coltabiano. Sends a left-footed offering just wide. Ball's out of bounds. Goal kick to Mount St. Joe. As a Dons fan, you have to like the aggressiveness of Loyola so far in this game. It was something that was missing this past weekend against Calvert Hall. They could never really muster any sustained or serious attack. They scored late in the game with about a minute and a half left to go. Ryan Kelly, the man with the ball right here, was the one who put the tally up for the Dons, but at that point it was too little too late. So Loyola doing a nice job so far, matching St. Joe punch for punch. Miles Lamb plays the ball into the middle. Linares trying to get it out. DeJesus turns upfield. DeJesus, a junior, he is verbally committed to the University of Maryland, as is his foil in the middle of the field for Mount St. Joe, number 11, Brian St. Martin. So a pair of future Terrapins squaring off here today at Loyola. Ball played up top, a little long for Chung. St. Joe still enjoys possession. Miles Lamb plays it across to Sean Thompson. Thompson looks to deliver it into the box of Loyola. This is Coltabiano. It's got a head of steam. Nice trail play right there by Hunter Murphy of Mount St. Joe. St. Martin then flicks it up to Israel. Munoz hits it upfield, but right to a St. Joe player. Ryan Kelly then has to send it back to Jordy Ekman, and Ekman will reorganize Loyola from his back line. Ekman and Martineau playing a little cat and mouse out of the defensive end. St. Joe, pass in the middle of the field, goes awry. Munoz plays it out. Pitola applying a little bit of pressure. St. Joe throw in. Clary plays it over to Lamb. Lamb dumps it off for Israel, making a run from his back defender position. Can't control it. Now pressuring Onante. Munoz skies it. That could be a good bounce for Marfo Sarbang, but well shielded by Simons of Mount St. Joe. Stroud in the middle of the field sends a nice ball, and there's going to be an offsides against St. Joe. St. Martin tried to leak behind that Don defense. Good call by the official as he was well offsides. Timing off just a little bit, but you still have to be impressed with the Mount St. Joe attack so far, putting a lot of pressure. St. Joe piecing together a little bit of an attack. Danielson runs up on it. Can't control. Now Loyola looking to clear it out of their defensive zone. Munoz plays it back to Ekman. Nice ball over to Kelly. Marfo Sarbang makes a run. Good defense by the Gales. Petola plays it back to Lackner. De Jesus switches field to Munoz. Caltabiano Anante is not able to handle the ball on the pass from the center of the field from Caltabiano. St. Joe will take possession back. Throw into St. Martin. Onantes sends it into the middle of the field. Petola has got a little bit of space. Quickly converged upon by a number of white jerseys, but good handle by De Jesus. Gets it over to Caltabiano. Little give and go, and they create an opportunity and force a corner kick. So Loyola will have another corner kick. Actually, this might be their first of the game, as they thought they were going to be rewarded a corner kick earlier. First substitution of the contest is by Loyola. Marfo Sarbang takes a seat. And number 22, Noah Mendoza, a junior, checks in for Loyola. Aggressive play by St. Martin shoves Mendoza off the ball. Lackner does well to recover. Plays it back to Munoz. Linares weaving his way through a couple of white jerseys. Number 1 for Mount St. Joe, Adam White, a senior, has checked into the game for the Gales. Up front in the striker position. Ryan Kelly corrals it for the Dons. Mendoza drops it off to De Jesus. De Jesus looks cross-field, sends it short to Lackner. Loyola putting together a few passes. Good to see. Caltabiano taken down from behind. Referee agrees.
Make him pay for it, Dom.
And it'll be a free kick opportunity for the Dons. De Jesus asking for what he considers to be the proper distance. Moves the wall back to the top of the box. I think in soccer, what do they call that, Mike? The 18? Is that the soccer terminology? De Jesus sends it over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for Mount St. Joe. Another substitution for the Gales, Aiden Loudon. Another senior. Again, this St. Joe team loaded with seniors, 19 in total. Reminds a lot of people of the 2019 Loyola Dons, the class of 19. Over a dozen seniors on that squad. MIAA finalists that year. One of those players, Cole Hendricks, now a sophomore at Emory University in Atlanta. Want to give a shout out to his dad, Mark Hendricks, in case he's watching the live stream. Traveling today, was hoping he'd be up here with me calling the game. Ball played out of the defensive end by Mount St. Joe. Kelly does well to come over, corral it, sends it upfield to De Jesus. De Jesus and St. Martin, they've been battling quite head-to-head intensely for the first 23 minutes of this game, and I'm sure it will continue for the duration of the contest. Ball at midfield, Gale player taken down. Referee awards a kick to Mount St. Joe. Landon Lackner applies the pressure. Some physical play on the end line as Linares defends it against Mount St. Joe. Ekman will take the goal kick for the Dons. Landon Lackner plays it square to Linares. De Jesus to Munoz, and now Loyola's got a little bit of something cooking. Munoz pushes it forward, does a nice job switching field to Ryan Kelly, who has a lot of space to operate with. Good defense by the Gales, takes it right off of Kelly's foot. I believe that was number 7, Hunter Murphy, back there. Physical play in the middle of the field. Referee's letting him get after it a little bit. Ball dropped off to Murphy. Tries to send it to Claring. Nice defense by Caltabiano. De Jesus, a little bit ahead of steam. Cuts it back on St. Martin. Referee doesn't give a call to De Jesus. Aiden Loudon controlling it on the wing for the Gales. Plays it back to Miles Lamb. Lamb sends it far post. Kelly marking his man well. Knocks it out of the goal mouth. Lamb and Petola now locking horns. Andre Israel takes it into the box. Crosses it. Has a man. Kelly. And we're going to have a push call against Mount St. Joe. So Kelly, good aggressive defense. That's what Loyola needs. They need a little bit of toughness. Get your hands dirty. Won't be afraid to mix it up a little bit. And he was able to hold off Adam White for Mount St. Joe. And Loyola now with the kick out of their defensive zone. Ryan Kelly, who earned that call just moments ago. Couple substitutions checking in for each team. De Jesus and Caltabiano will come out. Looks like Petola is going to move back into the center of the field for the Dons, as Emmett Kirshner, a freshman, checks into the game, as does Anthony Topolsky. Loyola's got to be careful here. You got two captains that just left the field at the same time being replaced by two freshmen. Could be a critical few minutes for Loyola. Some substitutions for Mount St. Joe. Cameo Nate checks in for Mount St. Joe. Do believe he is the brother of Evan Onante, so brother against brother here at Loyola Blakefield. Aiden Loudon controls, gets through a sea of blue, sends a shot goalward. Linares gets a foot on it. Loudon against Kirshner. Loudon's able to get the pass off, deflects off of Linares, headed up by Lackner. Topolsky now applying the pressure to Andre Israel. Good job by the freshman as they force a turnover, but then Petola has trouble at midfield, but he recovers well, sends it to Evan Onate, who plays it into Petola. Petola's got space. Got to give it up quick, and he does. Onate has a shot opportunity, but it goes into the hands of the Mount St. Joe netminder. Ball's played up the wing. Got to watch the counterattack. Loudon, can he get under the Loyola defense? Linares does a nice job recovering. Gets physical and sends the ball out of bounds. Corner kick for for Mount St. Joe. But good counterattack by the Gales. Equally good and tough defense by Sebastian Linares, a senior for Loyola. Taekwon Stroud. That is not Taekwon Stroud. That looks like Miles Lamb taking the corner kick. Sends it far post. Header just over the crossbar. Looked like that was St. Martin with that effort. Scoring opportunity squelched out by the Gales.
Good job, Emmett. Going deep.
Martineau plays it over to number 13 for Loyola. That's Gavin Carmichael. Linares plays it up. Ball sent in the middle of the field. Linares gets a head on it. Going to have a foul against Mount St. Joe. Possession over to Loyola. Ekman plays it over to Carmichael. Sends it up the line to Marfu Sarbang, who's checked back into the game. Referee awards the throw in to the Gales over the head of Carmichael. Ball's in the middle of the field now. Miles Lamb looking to control. Munoz went for the takeaway. He doesn't get it. And Lamb slams it far post. Nestles into the back of the net. And the Gales have struck first. Miles Lamb with a nice individual effort puts it in the net, and with 10:20 left to go here in the first half, 1-0 Mount St. Joe. St. Joe had controlled the play for the last couple of minutes, and they finally cash in with the goal from Miles Lamb. We'll see if Loyola can regroup. Don's season so far, season opener lost to John Carroll 4-1. Rebounded with a nice win over Spalding 4-0. And then dropped their last game to Calvert Hall 2-0. Loyola has played well so far in the first half. Nice opportunity right here. Marfo Sarbang was inside. Puts the shot. Nice save by the St. Joe goalie. Caltabiano sends it back in. It has a chance, and it's in. Dominic Caltabiano, right after Kwaku Marfo Sarbang wasn't able to cash in, Caltabiano collects the rebound, picks his spot, and delivers a beautiful lofting shot to the far post, beating the Mount St. Joe goaltender. And the Dons have tied it at 1 apiece. What an answer for Loyola. That's exactly what you have to do if you're a team like Loyola. You get a talented, experienced squad like Mount St. Joe scoring their first goal. I asked how the Dons would respond, and there's your answer pretty quick. Shot over the cage by Van Danielson of St. Joe. Well, after that goal was scored, Loyola coach Lee Tashantrit didn't waste any time getting DeJesus and Caltabiano back on the field. Dangerous pass. Jordy Ackman gets out, kicks it up top, headed back in by Mount St. Joe's Israel. Landon Lackner's going to collect it and one touch it over to Carmichael. Carmichael plays it square to Lackner, up to DeJesus. Onante had space, plays it into the middle to DeJesus. He is depossessed by Cami Onate. St. Martin tries to split the defenders. Linares trying to fight off Loudon. Does well. Gets it up to Munoz. Munoz sends it out wide to Israel. Israel has just been solid back here so far for Mount St. Joe. Him and Linares on the Loyola side have been playing terrific, sturdy defense so far in this contest. Linares to Onate. To Jesus and Onate. Little give and go action. And Danielson gets the touch. Dropped off to Cami Onate. To Jesus. Caltabiano sends it skyward. Ball goes out of bounds over to Mount St. Joe, and some mass substitutions as some St. Joe starters re-enter the game. Stroud, Chung, and Carey. Ryan Kelly back in the contest for Loyola. Plays it to Anate. Back to Linares. Jesus and Murphy battling each other. That little tussle won by the Gales. Stroud tries to play it out wide. Munoz gets a leg up, sends it to Anate. Over to Caltabiano. Stroud takes it, tries to put it through. Good defense by Lackner. Now a chip up to Chung, and an offside flag comes up. Turn over to Loyola. Marcus Sarbang plays off to Lackner. Good passing from Loyola. Caltabiano, head of steam, plays it out to Marfo Sarbang, who tried to put it through, gets it deflected, then gets it back and gets taken down. So Marfo Sarbang, great hustle, being aggressive up top. This is, again, something Loyola just wasn't doing against Calvert Hall. And they're being much more aggressive, much more physical, much more active up top. And they're creating opportunities for themselves. 1-1 is your score. 5:40 left to go first half. Loyola Mount St. Joe, typically members of the MIAA. They're still members of the MIAA, but I guess this soccer season is being called the Catholic League here in COVID 2020. Again, Loyola St. Joe, Spalding, Curley, John Carroll, Calvert Hall. The 6 teams participating. Each team will play the other teams twice as the shot from DeJesus goes into the arms of the Mount St. Joe netminder. Carey tries to get a little bit of separation from Linares. No dice. So these teams, again, each team will play the other twice. 10-game schedule. 4 top teams go to the semifinals. Winners of that go to the championship. And the kids get a soccer season here in 2020. Ball up top, played inside to Chung. Chung sends it down the wing. This is Danielson, gets inside but sends the shot wide. Be a goal kick opportunity for the Dons. Jordy Ekman with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Looking to play it out. Sends it to Jesus. Heads it forward. Kirshner back in the game for Loyola. Israel controlling. Gets it up to Chung. Chung flicks it to Carey. Chris Martineau for Loyola plays it out of bounds. Stroud Looked like he was going to drop it off to Israel. Keeps it himself. Nice play by DeJesus. Takes it off his foot. St. Martin now looking to create. Ball is called off of Mount St. Joe. Possession to the Dons. Munoz, long throw. Again, a windy day here at Loyola. You can see that Mount St. Joe netminder shielding his face from the sun with that hand. This is the time of day where it gets tough to see balls at that far goal here at Loyola Blakefield. Ryan Kelly steps up. Nice takeaway. Using the space. Danielson looking to hunt him down from behind. Marfu Sarbang plays it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Loyola. Munoz came from all the way across the field to take this throw-in. You have to figure he's got a long arm. Sends it, headed out by St. Joe. Chung controlling, turns it upfield. Nice hustle by Sarbang. Sarbang's got some room. Tries to get the shot off. Was it deflected? The answer is no. Thought he might have played it off of the toe of one of the St. Joe defenders, but it rolls out of bounds, and Mount St. Joe will have a goal kick. Minute 10 left to go here, first half. If you're Loyola, you just want to tighten up. Don't want to give up anything cheap before the intermission to Mount St. Joe. If you're St. Joe, you're going downhill on this one, but you've got to be aware of a counterattack from the Dons. Little flick. Munoz. Kirshner. Lackner plays it up into space. DeJesus trying to track it down for Loyola. Beaten to the punch by Jackson Simons of Mount St. Joe. Chung controlling, 30 seconds. Stroud's got room to operate. This is dangerous. Stroud lowers his shoulder, gets a little bit of leverage, but nice job for Lackner. By Lackner, knocks him off the ball just enough to disrupt his possession. DeJesus holds up. He was in danger of being offside. Now Marfu Sarbang. He plays it way ahead of himself. A little too much. And then an aggressive tackle by Mount St. Joe. Thompson. Loyola trying to get that ball in on the corner kick. They do, but that'll do it for the first 40 minutes of action here at Loyola Blakefield. An entertaining 40 minutes. Mount St. Joe struck first about midway, little past the midway point in the first half, and Loyola responded about a minute later. So halftime, 1-1, Mount St. Joe, Loyola. We'll be back with the second half right after this. Second half about to start here at Loyola Blakefield. 1-1 is your score. The Loyola Dons and the Mount St. Joseph Gales tangling in Catholic League soccer. If you're just joining us, Mount St. Joe scored about midway through the first half. Nice individual effort by Miles Lamb beating his defender to the left-hand side and finding the far post. And Loyola responded just about a minute later with Dominic Caltabiano, a senior captain for Loyola, collected a loose ball off of a shot from Kwaku Marfo Sarbang, and then he lofted one to the far post, found the back of the net, and that's where we are, folks, all level at 1 apiece, Loyola and Mount St. Joe. Loyola Blakefield invites you to join our Blue and Gold Community Partners Program for the 2020-21 academic year. This program offers a direct way to support our Dons and their Blakefield experience while also establishing a close relationship with the school and our community. For more information, please visit www.loyolablakefield.org/community-partners. And today we'd like to recognize our Roll Dons community partners, which include Knott Mechanical, United Building Services, Loyola Blakefield Aquatics, Confidio, Bollinger Roofing Company, and RCM&D. Thanks to these organizations for partnering with us and directly supporting the students of Loyola by way of tuition assistance, academic resources, expansion of our robust clubs and activities, and investment in service work and spiritual retreats. Second half underway here at Loyola. Marfu Sarbang controls in the middle of the field. Plays it up the line to Munoz. Munoz sends it over to Lackner. Disrupted by Stroud of Mount St. Joe. Caltabiano plays it up to Jesus, had a shot, passes it up over to Anante, who lets it go. And that ball was deflected off of the leg of a Mount St. Joe defender, so the Dons earned themselves another corner kick. Six-team Catholic League here in 2020. Loyola, St. Joe, Curley, Calvert Hall, John Carroll, and Spalding. They'll play each other twice to make a 10-game regular season. Bad touch inside the box for Loyola, and here comes DeJesus tackling with Jackson Simons. Simons wins that battle, plays it up a little too far ahead of Chung. And Ekman now, you can see he will be contesting with the Sun in this second half. Puts the ball down, will play it out short to Linares. Linares up to Petola. Petola wins the battle, almost gets taken down from behind. He's got advantage, has some space to operate. Petola tries to send it in. It gets through. Sarbang can't get a foot on it. Goaltender for Mount St. Joe is able to snatch it and send it back up the field. And here comes a counterattack for the Gales. Ryan Kelly holds his ground. Ball goes out of bounds. And Mount St. Joe's Hunter Murphy will put it back in. Kelly plays it out of harm's way. Petola battling with Israel. Very physical between these two guys. Munoz is able to corral it. Knocked out of bounds by Miles Lamb. Lamb again, the goal scorer for Mount St. Joe in that first half. Marfo Sarbang plays it over to Caltabiano. Defender for St. Joe hesitated. Caltabiano took advantage. Little flick inside to Jesus, making a nice run, but he gets shielded by Jackson Simons. Good defense by Mount St. Joe. Again, this team, 19 seniors. That is crazy. My producer, Michael Nitty, shaking his head. He can't believe that Mount St. Joe has that much experience. But they do. Van Danielson cruising to the goal. Gets a foot. Shot. Ekman does well. Goes low. Makes the save. That shot had decent pace on it. Ekman is able to get his body in front, snatches it when it wasn't saved cleanly on the first touch, and Loyola now back on the attack. Noah Petola, he's played well so far here today, gets it over to Ryan Kelly. Kelly to Onate. Onate tries to turn on Murphy, the defender. Murphy wins that matchup. St. Martin tries to play it out. Caltabiano, the Loyola goal scorer from the first half, is able to knock it away. Caltabiano now. Over to DeJesus, back to Caltabiano. Lackner switches fields to Munoz. Munoz battling Lamb in the corner. Tries to spin away from that pressure. Lamb's able to get a foot on Linares Skies and puts the ball to Marfo Sarbang, who then plays it out of bounds. Throw in for Mount St. Joe. Beautiful sunny day here in the Baltimore metropolitan area. When we kicked this game off, it was about 75 degrees. It's a little windy, but the wind has died down. Still a very pleasant weather situation for mid-November, early to mid-November, I should say, in Baltimore. Some discussion around midfield amongst the officials and the coaching staffs, and it looks like Mount St. Joe will be awarded a free kick from just inside their defensive zone. Ball goes up. Lackner plays it forward to Caltabiano, who kicks it up. Stroud is going to play it in quickly. Ekman tracks the ball and makes a clean stop. Breadbasket catch. Ekman puts it down and plays it out. Loyola plays a lot of short balls from their goaltender, Ekman. He doesn't punt an incredible amount. Marfo Sarbang, nice turn to Anante. Anante sends it over to Pitola. Pitola going in. He still has it. Puts it up. Onante can't get there. Instead, it's Simon from Mount St. Joe, and the senior hammers it up the field to Carey. Counterattack now for Mount St. Joe, and they've got numbers. Actually, Loyola does a great job of getting back into the defensive half. It looks like St. Joe was going to have a push. Chung now. Ball goes out of bounds. He sells the referee on a corner kick, and the referee buys it. So Mount St. Joe will have a corner kick. But good hustle by Loyola. It looked like St. Joe had numbers initially on the counterattack, but then you saw about 3 blue jerseys busting a gut, getting back into the defensive zone. Corner kick cut off by Evan Onate. Sarbang can't control it. Rolls out of bounds, and a throw in now for Mount St. Joe. Early substitution here in the beginning of the second half for the Gales. Brendan Flynn, a junior for St. Joe, comes into the contest. Hunter Murphy splits a couple of Loyola defenders, sends it across the mouth of the goal to Miles Lamb. Lamb plays it in. Short hop. Ekman does a nice job covering it up using his body, and now Loyola looking to get something going in the other direction quickly. St. Joe does a good job retreating and fortifying that back line. Pitola. He's been a pain in the neck all game long for this Mount St. Joe team. Call is against Loyola, so the kick will be rewarded to Mount St. Joe. Onate. Marfo Sarbang trying to corral it. Hits off his knee. Cross far post. Munoz better watch out. Man behind him. Ekman read it the whole way. Is able to get possession of the ball. Plays it up to Munoz. Munoz holds it maybe a step too long. Miles Land hunts him down. Sends the ball in the middle of the field. Danielson and Ekman, look out. Danielson sends it goalward. But there's Sebastian Linares. Knocks it off the goal line. We have a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty kick for Mount St. Joe. Wow. Really interesting call.
How do you call that after play?
that looked like a 50-50 ball between Ekman and Danielson. They both seemed to arrive at the same time. There was contact, certainly, but it didn't look like Ekman took the advantage away from Danielson. Wow, this is a huge call, and it's Tyquan Stroud. The senior will line up to take the penalty kick. Can Ekman come up with it? Shot and a goal for Mount St. Joe on a big call. That is a big call. .50 ball. Ekman, Danielson collide. Referee determined that advantage was taken away from Danielson. A PK awarded to Mount St. Joe, and they cash in, and they lead 2-1. Loyola had an answer in the first half. Can they respond here? With just under 31 minutes left in the game, they now trail 2-1. Petola dumps it off to Lackner. Lackner surveys the field, spins it back, decides to drop it behind him to Munoz. Munoz to Caltabiano. Out to Petola. Petola plays it in quick. There's a loose ball in front of the cage. St. Martin gets a foot on it. Linares now coming up from his defensive position. Plays it out to the wing to Petola. A little too fast, and it goes out of bounds over to Mount St. Joe. Ball out of bounds now to Loyola Blakefield. Linares switches fields to Martineau. Martineau plays it long. Petola heads it, but no run from the center. And the ball goes harmlessly into the arms of the Mount St. Joe goaltender. Sean Thompson plays it up to Danielson. Danielson created the penalty kick opportunity, and Stroud converted. Danielson now run down the line. Martineau gets all crossed up. Far side shot. Van Danielson showing a burst of speed. Catches the defender flat-footed and almost scores Mount St. Joe's third tally. It was just off. And St. Joe now turning up the pressure on this Loyola defense. Marfo Sarbang plays the ball into the middle of the field. Onante does a nice job, creates the turnover. Ball set into the middle of the field. There's Marfo Sarbang. Shot, save, St. Joe. Terrific save by St. Joe, but it's still alive. Marfo Sarbang sends it in. Now it's out. Beautiful save from the Mount St. Joe goaltender. Again, it's either Cush Jones or Fenstermacher. Terrific save as Marfo Sarbang had a quality shot opportunity. So Loyola's got to feel, while disappointed that they didn't score, they got to feel good about the fact that they were able to create that scoring chance. I've been watching Mount St. Joe varsity soccer now for 2 years, and no other team in the MIAA, now the Catholic League, has an assistant coach that chirps as much as Mount St. Joe. It's almost to the point you can't tell who the head coach is because they're next to each other and they're both vocal with the officials. Onate plays it up to DeJesus. DeJesus plays it off to Marfo Sarbang, who's in the shot. Nice sliding tackle by Mount St. Joe. Good defense by the Gales. But again, Loyola finding some openings and some lanes. I do believe that was Hunter Murphy for Mount St. Joe making that play. Actually, it could have been Sean Thompson. Tough to see those small numbers with no sun. Ball's off the end line. Munoz. Excuse me, that was Linares who played it back in, but referee signals offsides. And St. Joe will be able to play out of their defensive zone. Kelly and Stroud tangling. Kelly does a nice job of fending off the physicality of Taekwon Stroud of Mount St. Joe. Caltabiano now lays it off for DeJesus. 26 minutes left to go here in the game. Mount St. Joe 2, Loyola 1. St. Joe took the lead just about 8 minutes into the second half on a penalty kick from Taekwon Stroud. 1-1 was your halftime score. St. Joe struck first, courtesy of Miles Lamb. Caltabiano rips one from about 25 and sails over the goal into the wooded area here behind Collis Field at Loyola Blakefield. Caltabiano is the goal scorer for Loyola. He scored about a minute after Miles Lamb lifted the lid here at Loyola. Linares. Over to Lackner. Marfo Sarbang. He's been battling with Simon quite a bit here in the second half. Been a good 50-50 battle so far. Sarbang's gotten off a couple of shot opportunities. Simon has thwarted him on a couple of other chances. St. Martin and Anderson Guerrero, who's in the game now for St. Joe, combined to earn a throw-in. Ball had weird spin on it. And we're going to have an offsides against the Gales. Jordy Ekman playing it short to Martineau. Sends a crossfield pass to Linares. DeJesus. Little tic-tac passing. Knocked out of bounds by St. Joe. Mendoza back in the lineup for Loyola. Caltabiano drops it off to Munoz. Over to Martineau. Martineau lofts it up to Mendoza. Sean Thompson physical with him. Linares, hard tackle on Taekwon Stroud. And now Stroud yells at the Loyola bench, and the referee quick to go over to counsel him. Loyola coaches don't like that call. Referee trotting over to talk to Loyola head coach Lee Tashantrit. Looked from here like it was 50-50. Mike Nitti agrees, so we're not going to lean one way or the other. Simon will restart things for Mount St. Joe. Dangerous ball into the box. It goes past Ekman. Saved by Hunter Murphy. Murphy turns, puts it in. Lackner now knocks it away from the Loyola defensive end. Played in again. This is dangerous too. Good shield by Linares. Anderson Guerrero is the one that sent that back toward the goal for the Gales. If you're just joining us, 2-1 Loyola is trailing Mount St. Joe. Ryan Kelly making a run, plays it up to Mendoza Van Danielson. Nice handle for Mount St. Joe on the counterattack. Loyola does have defenders back. Martineau's going to have to find a way to stop Danielson. He doesn't. Nice shot. Ekman's save. Ball still loose. Danielson plays it back in. No one home, however, and here come the Dons on the counterattack. Kirshner for Loyola over to Caltabiano. Caltabiano to De Jesus. De Jesus head of steam. Plays it up to Onate. Onate gets a little shove at the end of that play, but no harm, no foul. Lackner now controlling for the Dons. Mount St. Joe struck first about halfway through the first half. Miles Lamb, nice individual effort. There's a shove in the back, not called by the ref. Linares then knocks it free, and Simon for Mount St. Joe is hurt. I tell you, if he calls the initial foul on Mount St. Joe, Simon doesn't get injured. Nice kick away by Landon Lackner. Simon still very gingerly walking. Looks like it might be his left leg, and we're going to have a card. Again, that was a red card. A red card has been administered to Chris Martineau of Loyola. I'm not sure what happened. It was behind the play. And Loyola now, with 21 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in this game, loses a player, and they will be a man down for the remainder of this contest. A dramatic turn of events here at Loyola. Wow. Again, I don't want to harp on it too much, but it looked like Simon of Mount St. Joe fouled a Loyola player. If you call that foul, Simon doesn't get hurt on the ensuing play. And then when the ball goes down into the defensive end, Martineau probably does not get disqualified from the contest. Maintenance officiating. Back to live action. Loyola in the all-blue uniforms. Mount St. Joe wearing white jerseys, white shorts, accentuated by the purple on the shorts. Linares, who's played a strong game so far for Loyola in this one, gets the better of Adam White on that little bump up. Both these teams competing incredibly hard, playing intense soccer, and it's fun to see, especially with what these kids have been through with COVID-19 and all the nonsense that's come along with it. Good hustle by Mendoza, pressures this sturdy back line of Mount St. Joe. Mount St. Joe, several very impressive players here, and here's one of them right here, Andre Israel. He's been stout on that left back position for the Gales. Israel is a junior for this Mount St. Joe team. Long throw into Landon Lackner, who plays it back to Gavin Carmichael. So this is 10-on-9 soccer, folks. As Loyola, their center back, Chris Martineau, given a red card a few minutes ago, disqualified from this game. Can Loyola muster an attack? They had several scoring chances so far here in the second half. Some good goaltending from Mount St. Joe kept them out of the back of the cage. Here comes Caltabiano. He's got a head of steam and room to operate. Caltabiano tries to slip it through to Onate. Onate gets... Oh! No call. And now Caltabiano delivers some punishment to a Mount St. Joe player, and he is booked. So Coltabiano will have to go off for a play. Topolsky comes in for him. And it's Jackson Simons taking that physical play from Coltabiano. Gets up slow again, and this is where St. Joe, clock is stopped, 18:31 left to go here in the game. Kelly. Back to Carmichael. To Jesus under the pressure of St. Martin. Linares lofts one to Mendoza. Nice ball. Taken away by Simons. Loyola, despite being a man down, still maintaining possession. They're controlling the play right here the last 2 or 3 minutes. Topolsky sends it up the line to Mendoza. Israel recovers, knocks it out of bounds. Throw in for Loyola. Marfo Sarbang checking back into the contest for Loyola. And Aiden Loudon of Mount St. Joe comes back onto the pitch. Munoz, that long throw, flick from Marfo Sarbang. St. Joe plays it out. Lackner dumps it off to Linares. Linares plays it up, deflected by Mount St. Joe. And you can see St. Joe, they've adopted a little bit more of a defensive posture here. Foul called against the Onate brother from Mount St. Joe. That's Cammy. But St. Joe with a 2-1 lead, and even though they have the extra player on the field, they're packing it in defensively. Of course, they'll do it on this opportunity as Kelly looks to restart play with a free kick offering. Everybody's up at the 18. Kelly sends it in. Physical play. Marfo Sarbang comes up with it, gets a foot on it, sends it across. Topolsky will try to run it down. No dice as it crosses the line. Coltabiano checking back into the game for Loyola, as is Pitola. And St. Joe now with a handful of substitutions. Stroud and Danielson chief among them. Danielson taken down in the box by, according to the referee, taken down in the box by the Loyola goaltender, and Tyquan Stroud then took the ensuing penalty kick, and that's the difference on the scoreboard. Mount St. Joe 2, Loyola 1. Dangerous play, Ryan Kelly. Jordy Ekman just gets run into by the Mount St. Joe attacker, and yeah, I think you got to give a booking right there. Wasn't intentional, but anytime you make contact with the goalkeeper, that is Aiden Loudon of Mount St. Joe. He'll have to come off for a spell. Alec Carey back onto the field, replacing him. Linares, under duress, gets it over to DeJesus. Carmichael now corrals it with some space to operate, sends it upfield to Pitola. Pitola plays it on. I think he thought his teammate was going to make a run, so he sent it down the line. Ball goes out of bounds, possession to the Gales. Coltabiano keeps control despite some intense pressure from Murphy. Coltabiano, head of steam, tough soccer, playing the ball upfield, getting through bodies, and that time he continues to pressure St. Martin. Ball goes off of the boot of Cotabiano. Goal kick, St. Joe.
Hey. Dom, walk. You got to make something happen, buddy. You got to want it. Let's go, Dom. Come on, Quack.
St. Joe with the goal kick.
Be strong, Landon.
Tyquan Stroud controlling for the Gales. This is Danielson. Nice play by Kelly.
Come on, Quack.
Danielson has been a handful all day up front for Mount St. Joe, and Kelly that time gets a toe in, knocks it out of bounds. Throw-in opportunity for Mount St. Joe. Don's facing a lot of adversity here with just 13 and a half minutes left to go in the game. They're playing a man down against a very talented, very skilled, very experienced Mount St. Joe team. But there's been no quit in this Don side all afternoon, and they'll continue to trudge and push forward. Ball played up. Jordy Ekman comes off his line, makes the stop. Quick rollout to Kelly. Kelly surveys the field, sends a ball up, and Loyola's got good opportunity here if DeJesus can turn it. Gets it back to Petola. Petola gets into space and sends it over to Coltabiano. Coltabiano operating down the far side, sends it in. That's where that extra player comes in handy for Mount St. Joe. They just have the numbers back there to defend. Substitutions now for each team. Evan Onante coming back into the contest for Loyola. And it looks like number 2, BP Sievers, has come into the game for Mount St. Joe. Another senior for this Gale squad. Nice little heel pass off the end line for St. Joe, and they're out of their defensive zone. Ball's played up. Carmichael and Kelly communicating with one another. Ball sent out wide, and tough touch right there from Munoz. Ball goes out of bounds. Over to St. Joe. Israel under the... Marfo Sarbang just takes Israel's lunch money, but you got to love Israel. He just got right back to his feet and got the ball back. That is a tough play by Andre Israel, who's turned in a stellar effort so far here in this one for Mount St. Joe. Ball sent far down the field. Ekman lets it roll out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick opportunity for Loyola. Landon Lackner sends a ball up the field, headed back in by Israel of St. Joe. Here comes a counterattack for the Gales. Tyquan Stroud rifles through a couple of Loyola defenders, but Ekman is able to make the save. DeJesus got a leg in there too and looked like he took some pace off of that offering from Stroud. DeJesus gets depossessed by Murphy of St. Joe. DeJesus looks like he's tired and may need to come off for a bit. Little break in the action as a ball is retrieved, allows DeJesus to catch his breath. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will stay with St. Joe. 1-1 was your halftime score. About 8 minutes into the second half, St. Joe was awarded a penalty kick. Tyquan Stroud converted for the Gales. Teams were about even after that. Loyola arguably having the better of play in the next 15 minutes or so. And then a red card was handed out to a Loyola defender, disqualified from the contest. So that's where we are right now. About 9 minutes, coming up on the 9-minute mark left in the game. De Jesus and Caltabiano both out of the game at the same time. 2-1 Mount St. Joe leading Loyola. Kelly plays the ball up. Sneaks out of bounds. St. Joe now subbing in liberally. Cameo Nate checking back in for the Gales. Alec Carey for St. Joe against Ryan Kelly of Loyola. Ball goes upfield for the Dons. Topolsky. Can't handle for Loyola, and a good play again by Israel. Said his name a bunch here so far in this one. Kelly steps up. Intercepts that pass cross field. Marfo Sarbang gets the ball poached away from him at midfield. Stroud plays it into space for Danielson. Danielson's got room to operate, sends one across. Good defense by the Loyola defender. That was Carmichael. Stroud gets into space, sends the ball across. Flicked off momentarily by Lackner. Ball then chased down by Lamb against Munoz. Lamb tries to nutmeg Munoz. Ball up to Topolsky, and here comes Loyola. Mendoza really in no man's land, surrounded by a sea of white jerseys. Ball goes out of bounds, and we've got a throw-in opportunity for Mount St. Joe. 7 minutes left in the game, folks. 2-1, Gales lead the Dons. Can Loyola mount a comeback? Here we go, Petola sends it through. Simon steps up, intercepts it, gets it to Stroud. Stroud sends it long to Carey. Here comes Ekman off of his line and does well. Good hustle to get to that loose ball. Loyola pushing it back up the field, looking for the equalizer. Topolsky hustling against Israel, pressures him enough that the ball goes out of bounds off of St. Joe. Throw-in awarded to the Dons. Caltabiano back on the pitch for Loyola. Okay. Ball's in the middle of the field. This could be dangerous, but it's not. Good play by the St. Joe netminder. Gets off his line and is able to take the ball. Now he'll send it down the other way. Carmichael heads the ball. It's like St. Martin coming up ginger after that last play for Mount St. Joe. Caltabiano, tough handle, gets it over to Petola just enough. Petola runs onto it, plays it up to Marfo Sarbang. He's in! Marfo Sarbang shot and a goal! Loyola has tied the game! Tremendous play by Noah Petola to Kwaku Marfo Sarbang, playing a man down. Loyola has evened the score at 2 apiece with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left in regulation. Marfo Sarbang has been knocking on the door all afternoon. He finally got a clean look on the net. Got a great jump on the ball and sends it into the back of the St. Joe goal. 2-2. Got to credit Petola as he won a 50-50 ball that wasn't really advantageous for him. St. Joe now a little bit more aggressive with the score being level, obviously. They're through. Pass across. Kelly knocks it out initially. Carmichael does a nice job. As a Mount St. Joe player was right on the doorstep. I believe that was Chung sniffing around for the go-ahead goal for the Gales. Landon Lackner now sending it over to Munoz. St. Joe definitely pressing a little bit more forward now with that man advantage. Looked like with that 2-1 lead, they were content to drop back a little bit and make life hard for Loyola to penetrate this solid back line, but now they are pushing forward a little bit. Linares gets dumped, and that's going to be Shan Chung. He looks like he's going to earn a booking from the referee. Chung showing good sportsmanship, helping Linares to his feet. Loudon back in the game for St. Joe as Chung has to go out for a moment. And now we have a red card. Shan Chung was just given a red card by the referee. Wow. He was leaving the field, and it looked like he was continuing to converse. I thought it was with his teammate who was coming on the field, but I have to imagine he may have said something unfavorable in the opinion of the referee, and a red card has been given to Shan Chung. So each team, Loyola and Mount St. Joe, have had a player disqualified from this contest. Help me with my math here, Mike Nitty. 9 on 9. I think it's 9 on 9. I've never been good at counting. 9 on 9 soccer. Here comes Loyola. De Jesus in the box. Tries to shoot. Knocked away. Caltabiano battling for it at the 18. St. Joe does well to get it off that line. Here comes Aiden Loudon. Counterattack for Mount St. Joe. Loyola has defenders back. Carmichael and Kelly. Little miscommunication as Kelly steps up to kick it away, but it's deflected back into the zone. Van Danielson tries to play it around Kelly. Sneaks it out of bounds, and now Jordy Ekman, the goaltender for Loyola, as he goes to retrieve the ball, doesn't have to have as much urgency as he had when the score was 2-1 in favor of Mount St. Joe. 2-2, St. Joe and Loyola. St. Joe took the lead 1-0 midway through the first half. Loyola a minute later answered. 1-1 was your halftime score. About 8 minutes into the second half, St. Joe scored on a penalty kick. About 15 minutes after that, a Loyola player was given a red card, and the Dons played a man down, but was able to earn the equalizer with about 9 minutes left in this game. Was it 9 minutes? I can't remember. It was short time, though, or the game was getting along. Van Danielson with the strike. Nice header out of there by Carmichael. Rebound shot just goes wide off the feet of BP Sievers. It was Kwaku Marfo Sarbang off of a beautiful through ball from Noah Petola that got the equalizer. Dominic Caltabiano checks out of the game again. Caltabiano missed the entire preseason and missed the first two games of the season as he's battling some injury. Came back against Calvert Hall. So his conditioning may not be where it normally is, as he's had to take some time off to mend up from his injury. Kelly throws the ball into Kwaku Marfo Sarbang. Sarbang now in the box. Couldn't get a good handle on that. Taekwon Stroud now chugging up the field. Marfo Sarbang applying the defensive pressure, and there we're going to see some real physical play from Marfo Sarbang. And Taekwon Stroud's got a temper. You can see him pushing and shoving a little bit. He is a very physical, very talented player, but he is emotional. We saw him early in this game barking at the Loyola bench, and now he's got words with some of the Loyola defenders. Simon defender for Mount St. Joe. He goes down again. KP Sievers then plays it up the line to Van Danielson. This is a dangerous situation for Loyola. Danielson just with an aggressive touch. A little too much. Ball goes out of bounds, and we are under a minute to play here. 45 seconds left in the game. Coltabiano checking back in for Loyola. Jordy Ekman plays it up. Under 30 seconds to go in this game. Can Loyola hold? DeJesus and Onate at midfield. Referee lets him play. And then DeJesus runs the St. Joe player off the ball. 13 seconds left. Israel trying to get the ball down for a play-in. Plays it forward. Kelly sends it toward the sideline. That should end regulation. Marfo Sarbang corrals it for Loyola, and we've got a good one here. Loyola 2, Mount St. Joe 2. The end of regulation. I believe we will play the first of 2 overtimes momentarily. Bonus soccer for you here on the Loyola Sports Network. St. Joe and Loyola going to overtime here at Loyola Blakefield. Overtime about to commence here at Loyola Blakefield. We were treated to tremendous 80 minutes of regulation soccer. 2-2 is your score. And after much debate during that break from regulation to overtime, it has been established that Mount St. Joe's Shan Chung was not given a red card. The referee somehow thought that he had booked Chung earlier in the game and thought that was a second yellow, which would have earned him a red. So St. Joe is still playing with the extra player. 10-minute overtime about to commence. And I forgot to look up the rules. Golden goal, is that what we got? First goal wins?
I believe it's 2 10.5.
De Jesus in the offensive zone, sends it far post. This is Marfo Sarbang. Marfo Sarbang sends it toward the goal. Ball knocked out of bounds. And a corner kick earned for the Dons.
Beat him with a shot. But he did score a head ball like that. Yeah.
Coltabiano will take the corner kick for Loyola. Sends it into the box, far post, headed out by Mount St. Joe. Linares runs the Gale player off the ball. And the ball will stay with Loyola, but it will be a throw-in. Munoz looking to throw it in for Loyola. Shot just goes wide off the foot of Landon Lackner.
Mike, what would you have done on that? You had to take him out to dinner tonight.
And the Mount St. Joe goaltender is in fact Joel Fenstermacher, the senior. That's had a very good game here today, made a couple of really nice saves for the Gales. Carmichael, ball's deflected, and Jordy Ekman punches it toward the sideline. That ball had some crazy spin to it and was coming down with a lot of velocity, and Ekman elected to punch it out of bounds versus trying to catch it as he had a St. Joe attacker bearing down on him. Loudon plays it over, or back to Israel. Loudon now with a little bit of space, whiffs on the shot, and they're going to call a penalty kick on that. I'm not sure, folks. That looked like a clean whiff from Aiden Loudon of Mount St. Joe. This is going to be the second, let's face it, the second controversial penalty kick given to Mount St. Joe. 7:13 left to go here in the first overtime as Tyquan Stroud with the shot, and he scores, and that's the game. Tyquan Stroud from Mount St. Joe wins it for the Gales. That's a tough way to end it for Loyola. They fought so hard, especially being a player down, seeing some great sportsmanship from a couple of the Mount St. Joe players, Jackson Simons and Sean Thompson, shaking hands already with the Loyola Dons. Tough way to end it for Loyola, as that was a tough call. It looked like the player from Mount St. Joe just miskicked the ball, but the officials give the penalty kick. Stroud capitalizes his second penalty kick goal of the game. And there you have it. Your final score from Loyola Blakefield. 3-2, Mount St. Joe tops the Dons in overtime. We'll see you on our next broadcast, which I think is, next Wednesday, which would be November 18th. It is senior day here at Loyola Blakefield as the Dons take on Spalding. Good night, everyone. Again, your final, St. Joe 3, Loyola 2. Good night.